Today we are going to see in detail about the Born approximation. In this lecture, we are going to see the first Born approximation, and in future lectures we are going to continue this for second and higher Born approximation. Also, we are going to see the Born scattering for Yogawa and Coulomb potential. Also, we are going to see the Green function and their application, and we are also going to see the Lippmann-Schwinger equation. All are related topic. We will see one by one. In this lecture, we are going to see only the Born approximation. If you find this helpful, then you share it. Also subscribe my channel and also join my channel for the growth of my channel. Now we will continue the first Born approximation. First, we will see in detail about the first Born approximation. The Born approximation is the key concept in quantum theory used to approximate the scattering amplitude when potential is weak compared to kinetic energy of the particle. So here the potential, scattering potential is weak comparing the kinetic energy of the particle. So we are going to dealt with a Born approximation. For a particle mass m and energy E scattering of a potential V of R, the time-dependent Schrodinger equation is minus, we know very well, so we're known expression only, minus h cross squared over 2m del squared plus V of R, my whole thing multiplied by psi of R, which is equal to E psi of R. Here, what I am going to do is, I am going to multiply the entire equation by minus 2m over h cross square. So the first term will become 1. So this will be simply del squared. And in the left hand side, and the second term is minus 2m over h cross squared V of R, because we are multiplying by minus 2m over h cross squared. So in the right hand side also we have minus 2me over h cross squared psi of R. Then we can rewrite this as del squared. Here I'm going to keep this as this term 2me as 2me over h cross squared as k squared. So if you bring this to the right hand side, you will get, sorry, left hand side, you will get simply k squared. Del squared plus k squared psi of r is equal to, I'm bringing this to the right hand side, is equal to 2m over h cross squared v of r psi of r. This I'm going to take as a source term. This is the source of scattering center. So remember that this source term contains the wave function also. That is very important. So I can rewrite this as del squared plus k squared, which act on psi of r will gives you the s of r, where s of r is the source term. So we have seen del squared plus k squared, which act on psi of r will gives you the s of r. That is s of r is a source term which contain wave function also. So we have seen it. The above is the inhomogeneous Helmholtz equation. If it is zero, right hand side is zero, that is no source term. Here there will not be any source term if potential is zero. This will become homogeneous Helmholtz equation. But now it is inhomogeneous Helmholtz equation. The green function must satisfy for this inhomogeneous Helmholtz equation del squared plus k squared, which act on the green function. I will explain what is green function and their application in the next class, which is equal to three-dimensional delta function, delta 3 or r prime. Here R prime is the source point and R is the absorption point. Using the green identity, the solution is written as Lippmann-Schwinger equation as psi is equal to, this is a exact solution, psi is equal to e power I k dot r. This is a vectorial quantity k dot product k dot r plus integral g r r prime v r prime. That is potential at the source point psi r prime t3 r prime. So we are going to see further. So we got this wave function using Lipson-Schwinger equation, where g of r prime is green function for a pre-particle. G of r prime is equal to minus m over 2 pi h cross squared multiplied by e power I k modulus r minus r prime over modulus r minus r prime. The Born approximation, we have seen according to Born approximation, V of r is weak. Then we can write psi of r prime as approximately equal to e power I k r prime inside the integral, that is at the source point, and substitute it here. So we know the green function. You take constant outside m over 2 pi h cross squared outside, then the exponential term divided by r over modulus r minus r prime v of r prime e power I k dot r prime t3 r prime. So integral is over r prime. So we got this wave function. The first term is incoming wave. So this is incoming, and this is a scattered wave, by definition scattered wave. Scattered. So now this plane wave, let us consider the plane wave is moving along this z direction. And here is the potential point, source point, V of R prime. So this prime indicate the source point, and unprimed coordinate indicate absorption point. So your particle will get scattered by this potential. So for large R, this the terms which I have shown in blue color, that is E power I k modulus R minus R prime over modulus R minus R prime, can be written as, since R prime source point is very small, so you can ignore in the denominator. So this will become 1 over R, this denominator. We can ignore R prime. And as far as numerator is concerned, you can separate this into two parts. E power I k r and e power minus I k prime r prime. Here, though r prime is very small, this indicates the directional one. So dot product is a directional one, where k prime is the scattered wave vector. This is the k is the incident wave vector and k prime is scattered wave vector. So this equation, particularly the second term, just now you ignore the incident wave, you consider only the scattered wave. So psi scattered is equal to minus, you replace this blue color into this one, and you take out e power ikr over r outside the integral, because integration is with respect to r prime, that is the source point. We are going to integrate this point only, that is this potential cloud. So minus e power ikr over r, and remaining thing m over 2 pi h cross squared, and this exponential e power minus I k prime r prime v of r prime, and e power I k dot r prime T3 R prime. Now we will further simplify this. So we got this scattering wave function is equal to minus e power ikr over r m over 2 pi h cross squared integral this integral e power minus I k prime r prime v of r prime e power I k dot r prime T3 R prime. But we know by definition the scattering wave function is this scattering amplitude f multiplied by e power ikr over r. Now you take this blue color. This is multiplicative factor. This multiplied by this scattering amplitude is will give you the scattering wave. So naturally this scattering amplitude is except this exponential term divided by r. So this is the f of t, f of theta pi. So we can write f of theta and pi is equal to this remaining term except this ratio m over 2 pi h cross squared and then this integral. Here I am going to combine these two. So e power minus I, so this is minus I, k prime minus k, because minus of minus will become plus. I am taking r prime as a common, T3 r prime. So what I am going to do is this change in the wave vector between the scattered wave and plane wave is called q. So I am replacing this as q. Remember that after all r prime is a running index. So we can change r prime as r. So this can be written as v of r e power minus I q q dot r t3 r. So now because we have only terms contain r prime here, f of theta contain only the primed coordinate, primed term. Unprimed is a multiplicative factor, so it will not come into picture of the amplitude, scattering amplitude. So I have changed r prime to r, so I got this relation. So just now we got the scattering amplitude is equal to minus m over 2 pi h cross squared integral v of r e power minus iq r t3 r. This is called first born approximation. Why it is called first born approximation is here the first order, the potential is proportional. This scattering amplitude is proportional to integral v of r, that is first order. So hence it is called first born approximation. And another important concept is you take the integration. You remember that this integral is conventionally called Fourier transformation. So Born amplitude is a Fourier transform of the potential V of R. That is very important point to be noted. Then what is a scattering cross section? Scattering cross section we have seen T sigma over T omega is equal to modulus F squared. So you can take modulus square of this. So this negative sign will go away. You will get m over 2 pi h cross squared power whole square and modulus square of this integral. So this is the scattering cross section. And remember that this first part approximation is valid whenever the wave function psi of r is only slightly different from the incident plane wave. So thank you very much for watching my video continuously and supporting me continuously. Thank you very much.